What's up? What's up? If you're here, go and send a message. Let me know you can hear me all right. I believe we got everything set up and we should be live. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Thanks for being here. Just gonna do some Q&A for a bit. We'll go for about an hour. So if you have any questions, feel free to send those and I'll get them answered. Awesome. We were having some audio issues yesterday, but I think I got them resolved. So should be good. What's up, Josh? How's it going? We got Formosa McGill in the chat. Hey, it's a good bit. Anyone have any Amazon or business questions? Who else we got here? Go ahead and drop a message. Let me know who's here. Say what's up. Looks like we got 6 people watching, but only 2 talking. What's everybody working on today? I gave a presentation to some students about selling on Amazon, and then Josh was helping me learn how to drive a stick. And that's pretty much been my day so far. Now we're going live, working on some content, and wrapping up my taxes after this. And then we're recording for Doughboys after that. So today's mainly a content day. Also might work on alpha candles a little bit, see if anything needs done there. We're working on locking in another fundraiser. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I'm trying to live stream a lot just because I'm really close to the 1,000 subscribers. So I need to get my watch time up as well. So I'm just trying to live stream. And specifically why I'm doing it now is I was looking at my YouTube analytics and it shows that most of my audience is online around this time. So I'm just trying to test it and see how accurate that is and see if this is a good time that works for all you guys. Then I can start live streaming more regularly just to offer value and do Q&A like this. Really liked the sourcing webinar, helped me a lot. Sweet. Yeah, we're doing another one, I believe this Friday night if anyone's interested. Just doing live sourcing, giving you my perspective on how to find online arbitrage products. If anyone's interested, I can post a link to that. Yeah, it went pretty well. I'm thinking we'll do some more live sourcing ones, maybe go over some new source or different sourcing strategies like A to A flips or just unconventional sourcing methods. That way we can teach you all the different ways to find products. And then I've had requests to do other types of webinars too. So maybe like how to hire a VA or launching your first product or anything that you guys would be interested in. I can do a webinar on. Yeah, 100%. Live streaming is really, really good for watch time. Amazon still has not paid me for that issue that we were having. We're still working on it. I got a response from them last night from the funds department telling me that they are not the department that I need to talk to, which doesn't make any sense. Gotta love Amazon, right? Anybody got any questions? You guys are being quiet today. Hey, what's up, Janet? How's it going? Watching while working? Sweet. If you have any questions, let me know. What's up, Brian? Would you mind sharing your journey and how you got into Amazon? Absolutely. So I started selling on Amazon in April of 2020. So right after kind of the world shut down. And I was working full time at McDonald's. I believe I was a manager at the time. And I was in college as well. And I was just looking for ways to make some extra money. And I was scrolling through Instagram one day, and I don't know if any of you are Gary Vee fans, but I came across a Gary Vee video of him saying that retail arbitrage flipping is the most practical, best way to make a quick $5,000. And it really stood out to me because Gary said a quick $5,000. Gary's all about patience and things take time, and you got to just be willing to put in the work and wait. So yeah, whenever he said quick 5 grand, that really stood out to me. So from there, I just started doing research, joined Facebook groups, watched a ton of YouTube videos, and just started doing more research. So yeah, I decided to try it out. And then whenever I decided to begin, I went to Dollar Tree, Dollar General, just cheaper stores where I could just buy items on the cheap and then flip them for more. Eventually started going to like Walmart, Target, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, did that for a while with retail arbitrage. And then eventually got pretty heavy on clothing, buying items for super cheap with stacking coupons at Kohl's and some other outlet stores. And did that for probably a year and a half. Eventually transitioned to online arbitrage just because I found it to be more scalable. RA was limiting and I was having to drive like all over the country to find products. So I decided to go with online arbitrage just so that I could more easily scale the business. And then, did that for probably another 6 months or so, and then started outsourcing. And then now, fast forward almost a year or a little bit over a year after I began outsourcing, hiring VAs, using Prep Center, all that, I'm able to only have to work a couple hours a week on the business, and the business is able to run itself because I've outsourced pretty much every aspect of it. So yeah, that's my story. Really glad I came across that video. People I've heard similar stories like that from people where they were just scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is, and they come across a video that changes the trajectory of their lives forever. So I was super lucky to be able to come across that because it's fast forward today, 3 years later, I'm running a successful business, putting out content like this, helping other people get started too. All because of that one video. Super cool. I've been slow in getting this all going. Still haven't listed my first product. Took me a month to get the LLC figured out and bank account. Yeah, the most important thing is to just get started. Now you got that stuff squared away, hopefully. Then, yeah, just get going. Find your first product and send it in, and that'll give you that proof of concept to want to go in further. I'd be interested in more content for a beginner. I think we have a 15-minute call coming up here soon, so maybe I can get my questions answered there. Yeah, for sure. Send me a DM and remind me about when that 15-minute call is. You might have filled out a form, and honestly, it's my bad. I might have forgot to get back to you. But just send me a DM and I'll look back into that and we can set it up. I apologize if I missed that. We were supposed to schedule it, I think. I think if I would have tried to list before I went to your sourcing webinar, I would have been losing money. So I'm kind of glad I'm taking it slow and monotonous. Yeah, it's important to find that balance. So you're right. Like you would have made mistakes. So it's good to kind of be more cautious. But at the same time, if you're too cautious, then it's going to take too long and you might wait too long to actually take action and see success. Find a balance there. Don't be afraid to just buy a few products and test it out just so you can learn the systems and get proof of concept. What's up, Mohammed? How's it going? How are you handling reimbursements? So I use a reimbursement service and I recommend everybody does. It's a no-brainer. So how a reimbursement service works is they do an analysis on your account. They open up cases on your behalf. They look for places where Amazon should have reimbursed you and they didn't. So it's money that you probably never would have seen again anyway. And only work with reimbursement services that operate this way. The one I work with, they don't get paid unless I do. So they take a percentage of what they recover. Don't work with any that charge you up front. Don't work with any that make you pay a monthly fixed fee. Only work with ones that only get paid if you do. Um, Typically, you're going to pay around 20 to 25%. Some of them are lower, some are a little higher, but generally 20-25%. So I'm with Riverbend Consulting, they take 20%. So if they find me $100 in a month, they're going to charge me 20. If they find me $0 in a month, they're going to charge me zero. They're very motivated to recover money for me because they only make money if I do. And everyone who has an Amazon account should be set up with one of these. Yeah, I like Riverbend's really solid for reimbursements. What I like about them is most of their team used to work for Amazon, so they really know how the systems work and they're able to do good work on reimbursements. I use them now and I've used them for probably like a year and a half. I used to use Seller Locker. Those are the only two I've tried though. I'm curious if anyone in the chat has experience with any others. I know a lot of people use Getita or Chatita, however you say it. And yeah, there's a few others out there, but Riverbend's pretty solid. So everybody hitting their spend goals so far this week. One thing I like to talk about as you're trying to scale your business or even just maintain it is making sure that you have a set amount of dollars that you want to spend on inventory every week. Because whatever your top line or even profit goal is, it all breaks down to how much you're spending on inventory. So let's say you want to sell $100,000 a month. You need to look at what your average cost of goods is. For my business, it's about half. So I know if I want to generate $100,000, then I need to spend about $50,000 on inventory in order to reach that 100K top line. So if you don't have a spend goal set already, you definitely need to set one up. And if you do have one set up, let me know in the comments if you're hitting that so far this week. I like to look at it as a weekly average and not a daily average because, everything ebbs and flows. But overall, for the week, if we're averaging out to our spend goal, then I'm good. We're on point. Have you integrated any Airtable into your business? No, I have not. I'm in a couple groups where they're pretty bullish on Airtable, and I know some prep centers that use it, but no, it's not something that I have integrated yet. I might at some point, but I haven't seen a need for it at this point in time. Recently took the Marcus line of credit, but it's pretty small. An idea how that grows faster. I keep using it and paying off, but not enough. Yeah, so unfortunately, with that Marcus line of credit, you're locked in, I believe, for the first 12 months. It's at least six, but I believe it's 12 months. And you can't request a credit line increase. So all you have to do is continue making those payments, paying it down, showing them that you're going to be responsible with it. And then when it's getting closer to your 12-month time for expansion or time to renew, then they will make you a higher offer. So yeah, my advice would just be keep doing what you're doing, and then at that 12-month mark, hopefully they'll offer you a higher line of credit, which is they probably will if you're using it responsibly, like you say you are. Yeah, there's really no way to grow it faster, unfortunately. Ryan, if you're still here, I'm curious if you use Airtable at all in your business, and if so, let me know like some of those applications. I know some people use it for tracking data or sending info like to their prep center. Curious to hear how you do it or what you use it for. Do you have VAs doing your purchasing for you? And if so, how's that going? So I don't have my VAs do purchasing. I have a domestic employee. One of my friends does my purchasing for me. Basically, he has some employee credit cards and then also access to my PayPal account. And then my VA team, they find the leads, they review the leads, they put in how many we want to buy. And then he just goes through at the end of the day and does the entire checkout process. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward and that's how it works. I know some people do use VAs, and actually my business partner, we're hiring a VA to do his buying right now. And generally, what people do when they have their VAs use it, do their purchasing, is pretty similar. They give them employee cards, or they give them PayPal access. Sometimes they'll give them gift cards, or they'll just log into their accounts, use safe payment info. There's a lot of options. I don't currently use Airtable. A friend of mine uses it to track her A purchases, and also using it with SaaS. That's interesting. Yeah, it's a really powerful tool from what I've heard. I'm just not using it, but yeah, I probably will at some point. One of the admins in a paid Discord I'm in is pretty knowledgeable on it, and he uses it for a ton of stuff. Yeah, definitely. What would be the first thing you outsource? So 100% is going to be prep. Prep is like the lowest ROI activity that you can do. If you're outsourcing it in house, depending on where you are, your minimum wage is really all you have to pay, maybe a little bit more, but like it's a low outsourced task, even if it's in house. And then if you are utilizing a prep center in a tax free state, sometimes you can even be saving money because of those tax savings. So, regardless of which route you like to go, I think that prep is the first thing that you should outsource. You really shouldn't be doing any of your own prep, or at least very minimal instances. I recommend outsourcing that as soon as you can afford it. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and turn on the notification bell down below. That way you'll be notified anytime I drop a new video or go live, so you have the opportunity to ask questions. So yeah, definitely turn on those notifications if you haven't already. And also subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. If you're getting any kind of value at all, go ahead and subscribe. I regret not outsourcing prep fast enough. It's definitely clutch to free up your time. Absolutely. Prep is the first thing that's got to go when you're starting to outsource. Frees up so much of your time to be able to go and focus on higher ROI tasks and more important tasks, really. What's the longest time you hold inventory for? So, technically, our SOP would allow it to go up to 89 days, but it like that never happens. So at the 30-day mark, we just start pricing more aggressively, trying to capture that sale. And then if anything gets to 60 days, which that alone is very rare, I would say 30 days is rare, 60 days is very rare. If it gets to 60 days, we're trying to sell it. I don't care what we sell it for. I don't care if we lose money. I'm just trying to get that money back. So anything that yields a net positive payout, we'll sell it for. What that means is we're basically ignoring our cost of goods at that point and just making sure that sale price minus FBA fees yields a positive payout. If we can capture any kind of positive payout at the 60-day mark, then we're going to sell it for that price. Because at that point, I need to just get that money back and reinvest in better moving inventory. I don't care if we're losing money. I just need to take the money back from that loser and reinvest it into a winner. Then, if anything were to ever get to the 90-day point, which that like never happens, but if it were to get there, then we're just removing it, usually with a liquidation removal order. So yeah, that's our SOP, and really never gets past the 60-day point. Even 30 is semi rare. Yes, that's 30 days after it becomes active. So probably more like 45 days after purchase, maybe a little bit less. What's up, Justin? About what point do you recommend getting a VA for product sourcing? So I recommend getting a VA whenever you have more money than time to do product research. Whenever you have capital sitting around or access to capital that is not being spent on inventory, and whenever your bottleneck is that you don't have enough leads coming in. Product research is the foundation for your business. And if it's not happening on a regular basis, your business is never going to grow or even maintain at where you're currently at. So whenever you don't have the time to source, but you have more money sitting around, you need to either get a VA or subscribe to leads list. Both of those are acceptable solutions. But in my opinion, the leads list is more of a temporary thing, transitional until you have the capabilities to build out your own virtual assistant team. And long term, you want to build out your own VA team and just ensure that you have product research leads coming in on a regular basis. Yeah. In summary, whenever you have more money than time, and that's how you can solve that problem is by hiring VAs. I've been doing Amazon full time for a year now. Sweet. Super excited for year two. Glad to be learning every day. Absolutely. Congrats on full time for a year. That's huge. It's awesome. Anyone else in the chat full time Amazon? And if not, I'm curious if do you have aspirations to be full time Amazon, or is this really just a side hustle for you? I'm always curious to see like what people's goals are, because at the end of the day, you know, it doesn't matter what other people's goals are, or if other people are full time. It's what do you want to do? Do you want to be full time? Do you want this to be a side hustle? Do you want to just make a little bit of extra money, or do you want to build, a business like Amazon Lit? It really depends on what your goals are, and I'm curious to hear what you guys are going for. Yeah. Try not to get down with some other people selling for a year, selling millions. Yeah, and it goes back to what I was just saying, your goals. Maybe you want to build a massive business like that sells millions like Amazon Lit, or maybe you just want to sell a few thousand. Maybe you just want to make enough money to take the family to Disney Town. It goes back to whatever your goals are, and don't let other people's goals or what other people are doing take away from what you're trying to accomplish. How do you compensate your buddy that purchases for you salary? So he's an employee, so he gets paid hourly. He just clocks in and out whenever he's working for me, and then he gets paid every 2 weeks just on our payroll with the other employees. Goal is to be full time by end of the year. Sweet. Curious, you don't have to share here if you don't want, but if you want to DM me, if you want to share, it's up to you. I'm just curious where you're at now, and then what full time looks like for you, like where you need to be by the end of the year. And then anything I can do to help you get there, absolutely feel free to DM me, and I'm always glad to help. I was a GM for a Krispy Kreme. That's cool, and loved it, but it was time to run a business for my own. Yeah, I get that. And I talk about how I used to work at McDonald's and I was a manager there. And I actually really liked the work. I liked working there. It's just I didn't want to, have other people telling me when I have to work, where I have to work. I like the freedom more than that. So that's my why for having my own business is getting that freedom aspect of entrepreneurship. It wasn't that I hated working there. I actually really liked it. It's just I wanted to run my own business, kind of like you're saying. I'm 4 months deep, trying to hit full time, stuck between 10 to 15,000 a month sales right now. Yeah, I'd be curious to hear what you think your bottleneck is for why you're stuck at that 10 to 15K a month. My guess, well, what I know it is, what it boils down to, is that you're not spending enough money on inventory. Because if you're not spending more money on inventory, your business is not going to grow. But there might be other bottlenecks that are preventing you from spending more money in inventory. Maybe it's you don't have enough leads coming in. Maybe it's you don't have enough capital. Maybe it's you're spending too much time on prep. There's a ton of different things that could be holding you back, but it all boils down to spending more money on inventory. And that's what's going to take your business to the next level and allow you to start to scale and get closer to going full time. Another thing is what full time is can look different for everybody. So, like, if you are the person, working in your family and you have to be, excuse me, and you have to bring in like 7, 8,000 bucks a month, and that's different from like an 18-year-old kid trying to go full time who doesn't have any responsibilities. Like, we interviewed Ben Books the World on the Doughboys podcast, and he doesn't need to make that much money because he lives in other countries year round. He's just full time traveling. So if he can just live off the travel points for the travel stuff, and then make, I don't know what it is, you'd have to talk to him, like 2 grand a month can cover his other expenses because other countries are so cheap. That's good for you. Full time looks different for everybody, and everybody's goals look different. Yeah. Definitely, you gotta spend more money. I would recommend if you're not already, get on some leads lists. That's probably going to be a better fit for you right now. Just thinking about your volume, and then from there you can start to hire VAs. Yo, what's up, Josh? How's it going? Do you have an update when your new leads list is dropping? Yeah, so I can give an update on that. Basically, we're just delayed for now. The reason is Amazon is still holding all my funds from me. So until I can get this figured out, I don't think it's wise to start up a new company and take my limited available cash and pour it into something else. So I'm kind of just holding on to what funds I have until this thing can get resolved. And then whenever Amazon gives me my payout, which just an update, it's like $200,000 now. So it's very substantial. Basically, as soon as I get my payout, then we're going to be starting the new leads company. So that's just kind of where we're at. Yeah, hopefully it's soon, but I mean, we're just waiting. Not just waiting. I'm still taking action to try and resolve it, but that's just where we're at. Some people would be surprised with some of the P&Ls for companies like Krispy Kreme versus what you can achieve with Amazon in a few years. Yeah. Josh, you got to outsource everything. So what I generally tell people is going back to that, if you have more money than time, then you need to start outsourcing and outsource those low ROI tasks ASAP. I do not use CheddarSoft. I'm not super familiar with that. Let me look it up. Oh, OA Cheddar? Are they? Is this just their leads company? I've heard of OA Cheddar. Looks like it's some kind of software. It's their lead database. I don't use it. I actually haven't heard of this till you mentioned it. I've heard of OA Cheddar for their leads list, but I've never seen something like this. This looks pretty cool. Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, it looks really interesting. No, so back at the beginning of February, I had like suspected IP and restricted product policy violations on my Canadian account, which I addressed that same day. The account went back to healthy status. But since then, they've been holding my funds in reserve, and the reserve amount just keeps going up. So my account health, my rating is like almost 800 now. So it's in very good status, but they're still holding all my funds in reserve regardless of that. So yeah, that's where we're at. What type of product categories excite you as summertime is coming our way? So, like outdoor products like swimming pools, swimming accessories, outdoor toys, things like that kind of are on my mind. And then on the other side, what doesn't excite me is anything that's meltable because meltable date is approaching. So, any chocolates we can't really sell, so things like that. But I mean, generally, we don't look at seasonal product opportunities, maybe a little bit, but it's not ever a big part of our business. We're really just looking at products that the data shows that sells good year round. I have sold a lot of like pools and chlorine in the past, so those are things that kind of I'll keep my mind on. Yeah, it's April 15. Do you invest outside of Amazon? So I'm building some other businesses outside of Amazon, and this is something that I think is super important because Amazon is risky and you should try and diversify your income levels. So right now I have Alpha Candles. It's a brick and mortar shop, and then we do sell on Amazon as well, but it's a brick and mortar store, and then we do wholesale and fundraising in our area. So that's kind of another investment that I'm building. Then I'm working on some other stuff as well. And yeah, I'd like to get like 3 or 4 solid revenue streams, and then I'll come back and build the Amazon business higher with wholesale. Not doing private label yet. It's something I'd like to get into this year. Probably looking at like Q3, maybe even Q4. But again, going back to like I want to have some other solid stuff built before I come back and build the Amazon business more. Been doing great with seasonal, but I don't go deep. Usually, send super early and have managed to sell out. Do about 5 products for each season. Sweet. You should sell your candles on Fair. Is that a wholesale site? I think I've heard of it. Yeah, I've definitely looked at this before. I have not thought about selling our candles on here though. That's a good idea. Yeah, this is a really good idea. Josh McGill, are you still here in the chat? Joshua McGill. This is a great idea. I'll have to think about the shipping because one of the things with our wholesale price, we need to lower our cost of goods a little bit more in order to get a lower wholesale price, especially by the time they have to pay for shipping. Or if we could lower it enough to be able to offer free shipping in our end. You don't like Amazon sellers. Good to know. Would love to hear about your goals regarding YouTube. So yeah, YouTube is really what I want to be doing long term. I want to start like a whole media company that has tons of different channels and also helps other creators grow their channels and monetize their brands. I want to be able to help people monetize what they're passionate about through the power of YouTube and just online content in general. So yeah, YouTube is really my long-term game and short-term specifically with this channel, I just want to be able to help people get started on Amazon and make money online because YouTube is how I learned. YouTube, Facebook groups, other people creating content is how I learned and how I was able to grow. So this is kind of an opportunity for me to give back and help other people too. And then on the monetization side, it's just another way to monetize my skill set. And I spent, 3 years learning the ins and outs of Amazon arbitrage. And through the use of YouTube and building my own brand, it's another way for me to monetize AdSense, courses, coaching, maybe private groups. There's tons of different ways that I can monetize my skill set. And then also at the same time, help other people and help them grow their businesses. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And long term, I want to be doing YouTube. Like media is what I want to do long term. 100%. Looks like Fair's fees are relatively high. Like on wholesale, margins are lower, so I feel like this fee is pretty bad. They charge a marketplace fee of 15%, and whenever a customer places their first order, it's 10%. So basically, my understanding is on first orders, they take 25%, and then future orders is 15. That's a lot for wholesale, in my opinion. Like, just thinking on our wholesale numbers, that would cut our margin in half. That would take away half of our profit if they took 25% of top line. That's kind of crazy. But I mean, if they can connect us with a lot of business, it could be worth it. So yeah, I'm really interested. What? That's crazy. So some of our Amazon competitors are also wholesaling through Fair, it looks like. Looks like their wholesale pricing is very comparative to ours. They've got a lot of reviews on here, almost 2,000. I would imagine that means they've had a lot of sales. They have a $120 minimum spend. Been reported twice for resale. Oh well. Next 60-day terms is huge. That's crazy. You can literally sell your inventory before you even have to pay for it. How are you handling the new inventory limits? We haven't really had any issues yet. Let me look at our end, but I don't think we had issues with the new system. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not even close. It looks like it's estimating 27,000 units available. It's about 3,000 cubic feet, and I'm only at 10% utilization. So I'm like, it's not a concern to me at all. I don't know how it works, but I would assume it's kind of based on your sell through and how much they want to give you the opportunity to store about 90 days worth of inventory because that's what they've done in the past. So I would just probably look at one, selling more units, and yeah, show them that you can handle a higher sell through and that you're, good for holding more inventory. Yeah, it looks like I'm not over. My highest category is 12% for apparel. Everything else I'm under. I'm at 10.38% on standard, 7.85 on footwear, and 1.56 on oversize. Curious if anyone else has had issues with the new system yet. If you're looking for items to private label, fair is a good idea to start small. That is allowed. Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely watch some YouTube videos later and just try and learn more about fair because it sounds like a really good idea for selling our candles on there. All right, cool. Thanks for hanging out, Ryan. Have a good rest of your day. Go for a few more minutes here. So if you have any other questions, Amazon business, anything, feel free to drop it now and then I'll get it answered for you before we wrap up. I'm going to be doing live streams pretty much every day this week. So again, turn on notifications and subscribe if you haven't already. That way you can be notified when we go live and you can hop back in and ask any other questions that you have. Also, if you guys haven't watched the video I dropped yesterday, like you need to. It added $60,000 in revenue into my business, and my partner, I told him about it last week, and he was able to add like $700 in just the first few days of implementing it. So I'll post the link here. You guys need to watch this video as soon as you wrap up here, and you need to implement the strategy today. It's simple. It's a no-brainer. It requires literally no effort, just 5 minutes to set it up, and then you'll start seeing an increase in your revenue. Like I said, my business partner saw $700 in just a few days, and lifetime since I've been using the strategy, it's added $60,000 in top line revenue. All right, if there's no more questions, we're going to go ahead and wrap up, and we'll see you guys on the next stream, probably tomorrow around the same time. Peace out. Have a great day.